Hey everyone! I'm making this video because I want to talk about my experience with yoga, and I'll try to make it as brief as possible because it keeps cutting me off. YouTube keeps cutting me off anyway. So I want to just basically say that it is not what it seems. It's extremely dangerous. I have a lot of experience in this. I was involved in high-level occult yoga for a few years, and I was doing 15 hours a day of yoga, and I was just about ready to completely give my life to this organization and go to India. And I was about ready to move to India, and I was in India, and I got hit with spiritual warfare while doing this yoga because it opens you up to a different dimension. um, and I thought I was becoming enlightened, because I was feeling good. Okay, before I got hit with the spiritual warfare, I was feeling good, and that's the deception. Just because something feels good, it doesn't mean that it's coming from a good place. Satan can do healings and has done healings, and I've seen that as well. And so the deception is just so deep, it's unimaginable that it could be anything bad. I mean, it seems harmless, right? You're just doing some stretches. What's wrong with that? We seem totally wacko to even suggest otherwise. But it truly is not what it seems. And I was doing this high-level yoga, and I got hit with spiritual warfare. I got hit with physical illness, very serious, Morgellons disease. And I came back devastated from it. And I'll get into my journey in a second, but I just want to say again and reiterate the fact that everything's a trade-off. Just because it feels good doesn't mean that it's coming from a good place, as I mentioned, and there might be something else that is affected. Because if you look at the origins and the roots of yoga, and you really go into where it's coming from, it truly is witchcraft. And as crazy as that sounds, it's crazy. It sounds like something that you'd hear just some so-called, ignorant person, as I'm stereotyping the South, from the South, saying, oh, those yoga people, they're just doing that voodoo over there, and I never left this town my whole life, but I know that voodoo stuff isn't for me, whatever. And I love Southern people, please don't get me wrong, but I'm saying you may think that's just something that is so far-fetched out there that only some ignorant person would say. But I'm speaking from experience, high-level experience in this. For many years I was involved, and I was a poster child for this. And I tell you that it is not what it seems. And I came back, and I was seeing images of Satan with a dragon with wings. I didn't even know what it meant. I didn't like Christians. I didn't like anything to do with Christianity because I associated Christianity with mainstream Christianity, which is heresy, and with the Catholic Church and the Crusades, and what we see manifesting as Christian Zionism and Dominionism, which I discuss in the reference document. But that's what I associated Christianity with. So it took some time for me to come to the place of trying to call on Jesus through this experience. And I did, though. I came to call upon Jesus Christ through this experience for help and healing and hope during the spiritual warfare. And he came. He came, and he came strong, and through his name, he showed me that there is no other name. There is no other name that could have done what he did for me. And these spirits inside just got rattled up, and they did not like it. And at the same time, the Lord was showing me biblical prophecy coming true, and it led me to write that reference document. And I got saved, and my whole life changed. All the anger and the weird stuff that was happening, it was just got in control. I was felt with just an amazing amount of peace. And even my parents say they can see a tangible difference. And so what I'd like to just say is that Jesus Christ is the way. He has shown me out of the deception of yoga and what it is and the occult. And there's something happening now where it's entering into the church. The apostasy is entering into the church. And I'd like to just quickly mention there's a documentary by Andrew Strom and it's called Shocking Documentary 1. You can just search YouTube Shocking Documentary 1 about false spirits invading the church. And what you're seeing there is, you know, the twitching and the grunting and the moaning and the groaning and the rolling and all the stuff that I was involved in, that type of stuff manifested, and I thought I was getting enlightened. That those spirits, which are actually doing it, are entering into the church now, and it's not coming from a good place. So check out that documentary as well. And I'd just like to say, even if you think I'm totally whacked out crazy, yoga can't be that bad, I ask you to look further, and you can contact me and I can tell you more details, because truly, even if you're feeling good, it has consequences, and I would just stay away from it. It is actual witchcraft taking place, which, as crazy as it sounds, is true, and I only know from very personal experience, and I'm not the only one, so do research up onto it. I love you all. God bless.